Today we're stepping into one of the most politically charged moments of 2026, the scheduled deposition of former Attorney General Pam Bondi and the ongoing battle over the Epstein Files. Because when Congress demands answers and the Department of Justice hesitates, the silence becomes its own kind of confessions. Pam Bondi was set to be disposed on April 14, 2026 under subpoena from the White House Oversight Committee. The topic wasn't small, it wasn't procedural, it wasn't routine. It was the Epstein Files Transparency Act, a bipartisan law requiring the DOJ to release millions of documents tied to Jeffrey Epstein, his network, and the people who enabled him. But the releases were slow, heavily redacted, and lawmakers from both parties were losing patience. Bondi, as the head of the DOJ, was at the center of all of it. Lawmakers wanted Bondi to answer for the delays in releasing the Epstein-related documents, redactions that went far beyond what the law allowed, internal decisions about how the DOJ handled interviews, evidence, and follow-up investigations. Whether political pressure influenced the process, this wasn't just oversight, this wasn't accountability. And Bondi was the one holding the pen, and she was loud about it. You see her in those committee hearings? She was not good. So then came the twist. On April 2nd, 2026, less than 2 weeks before her deposition, President Trump decided to fire Pam Bondi. But the subpoena didn't disappear. The obligations didn't vanish, and Congress made that very clear. Democrats said she had been leading a cover-up, and Republicans said the DOJ still hadn't complied with the law. Both sides agreed Bondi still had to show up. Her firing only raised more questions. The Epstein Files has become a political earthquake. Millions of documents, names, timelines, travel logs, and communications. A public demanding transparency. A government struggling to deliver it. Bondi's deposition was supposed to clarify why the DOJ was dragging its feet, who approved the redactions, whether the public was being protected or shielded from the truth. This wasn't just about Epstein, it was about the most institutional trust. When the truth is slow, people start to wonder who's holding it back. Pam Bondi, April 2026 deposition was more than a date on the calendar. It was a moment where the country paused, leaned in, and asked, why aren't we being told, and why? And let's be clear, these are questions people have been asking for a while now, because Trump ran on the idea of transparency and that they were going to get behind and to the bottom of the Epstein files. And once the FBI and the DOJ and everybody got involved, started looking through paperwork, everybody was silent. Now, the question becomes, why aren't we being told what's in them, and why? So if you want a deeper dive into the Epstein Files Transparency Act, the political fallout, or the timeline of the document releases, let me know. We can go even further between the blurred lines. And so with that, remember, stay kind, and I'll speak to you soon.